Welcome to Creative Originals by Roxine. Sit back and enjoy my videos. Okay, this is where we left off on part 1, and now we're going to finish our paradox in every 2 rectangles to the left and the right of the center one. And again, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to go from narrow to wider from one point to the next, and then do the exact same design on the opposite rectangle so that it will match, and you will get that pretty fan that you see in the center. We're going to do this from left to right all the way around in these rectangles. You can pause the video now and go ahead and do the similar type of design or whatever design you would like to, and then we're going to come back to this in just a little bit to where I can show you how to do the end points of the moon on the left and the right so it will match and meet up. Okay, have fun. Be back with you in just a little bit. There you go. Now we have another combination ready, and I will move on to the next 2 rectangles. Actually, when I do this, I have a tendency to hold my straight tip down a little bit too far, and I will burn in a little extra line. So I'm going in right here, and I am scratching that little line out. Remember, this is all organic. It's your design. If you have a few little flaws in it, it just makes it more interesting. Sometimes you can actually use those little flaws to your advantage and create something else. So don't be real hard on yourself if you notice you have a few little things that you aren't particularly happy about. In the long run, the design is going to look very nice when it's completed. This is where I'm going to show you how to line up this paradox within the very end of your tip of your moon. You want to look at how it's all laid out with the one that we want to kind of copy. So you want to be sure you're going to start your angles properly. So you want it to look like the fan is fanning out to the left. So you're going to start with your point down, and you're going to start from narrow to wider and expand it out. And then once you reach that point, you're going to go from narrow to thin. Excuse me, I'm wrong. You're going to go from thin to wide to the tip of the moon point, or that crescent point. You can kind of see what I mean here. Start there, and you're going to go to the point and widen it up. Having to think about that just a little bit, make sure I don't mess it up. Here we go, just like so. And then when you end there, you're going to start there, and you're going to go from narrow to wide and try to meet as closely to the same width as where you left off with the last one that you did. It's pretty close. Now just repeat the same exact thing all the way around. Excuse me. And then when you get to the center, you'll shade that in. That's looking pretty good. Takes a little bit of time. Move your board around so that you have the right angle. You know, don't make it hard for yourself. Move it around so that you're pulling or pushing the tip of the pen in a direction that makes it easier for you to draw a line. If you're having a little difficulty getting your line to burn, bump your heat up ever so slightly. Remember to have your fan on. Keep your unit cool. Don't burn too hot, or you may burn your pen or melt the end of the pen on the inside. That has happened to me twice. All right, we're getting a little closer, you can see. And then just a few more little angles and we'll shade that in. Now that we have finished the paradoxes on the outer curves of our moon, we're going to go ahead and start working on the middle section. And I've decided just to do continuous loops from one point to the next. And as I draw these loops, these are actually going to be more like a reference point for me. I may not actually use the line to burn my design on. I may erase some of them. I may go back and straighten some of them up. I can see now I'm getting just a little angle there, so I may straighten those up here in just a moment. But I just kind of want to get an idea about how many loops I might want, in that center area. And then I'm going to begin burning that. So that's the next thing you should do. You should pause the video now, go back in, and decide what type of design. It can be circles, it can be loops, it can be infinity shapes, it could be X's, rectangles, squares, whatever you'd like to do. Come back and we'll get started here in just a moment. I'm changing out my straight skewer for a more rounded, pointed tip. I believe that's going to be tip A with the Colwell Woodburning set. And I like it because I can curve a little bit better with the curved tip than I can with pointed tip. So be sure you always make sure that you turn your unit off, let it cool down a moment, and go ahead and insert a new tip. I'm going to be using about a setting of 4 with my Colwell Super Pro 2 Woodburner. Excuse me. Let that heat up for just a moment, and then we're going to start outlining my loops in the center section. If you'd like to pause it at this point, you can, and go ahead and get everything drawn and ready to go, and then we'll proceed forward. Okay, as you can see, I'm using the rounded tip to kind of walk along the curved line, pencil line that I drew. And then after I get the left and the right side of the loop outlined, I go back in and I start filling in and shading with the same tip. And that's another reason why I like this tip so well. It shades very, very well, and I have a little bit more control with it than I do with the straight one. The straight one, I do get some shading, but it's not quite the angle that I want. Besides just the loop, I am also going to do the little triangular shape next to the line below the loop. I'm going to shade all of those as well. So you can pause the video now, work on your cutting board, and then come back and we'll see where we end up. Have fun! This is beginning to look really nice. I like that. Now we're going to finish up going from the loops toward the point. And some of these loops will be a little easier to do. Some are going to be just circles. So by all means, just stop and make a little circle. Fill in your little triangle area and you'll just about have this completed. We're almost there. Now we're coming towards the end of our design on the moon. Be sure to give me a thumbs up on my channel, subscribe and like my page. Be sure to tell other people and invite them here as well. I do like comments. Please leave comments. Anything that I can do to improve it, I would greatly appreciate all your comments. And stay tuned for part 3. Where we're going to finish up the last section of this moon, and then this board will be posted in my Etsy shop and will be available once we're finished. Thank you all for watching. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.